Something has changed. You cannot name it. You cannot point to when it started. But somewhere in the last few weeks, maybe months, reality began to feel different. Not wrong exactly, just not quite real. You go through your day, you do the things you have always done, you talk to the people you have always talked to, but underneath it all, there is this strange sensation, like you are watching your own life through glass, like you are present, but not fully here. You look at your hands sometimes, and they feel like they belong to someone else. You walk through rooms you have known for years, and they feel unfamiliar. Conversations happen around you, and you hear the words, but they land differently now, softer, more distant, like echoes from another room. And the strangest part, the things that used to make you feel alive, the passions, the problems, the people, they do not hit the same way anymore. It is not that you do not care. It is that your caring feels muted, disconnected, like the volume of your life has been turned down. You have wondered if something is wrong with you, if you are depressed, dissociating, losing your mind. But here is what no one has told you. This feeling is not a malfunction. It is not a breakdown. What you are experiencing has a name. And when I reveal what is actually happening in your consciousness right now, everything will make sense. You are not losing your grip on reality. You are leaving one reality and entering another. And that in-between space, that is exactly where you are standing right now. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you why this is happening, what it means about your transformation, and the 3 unmistakable signs that prove you are not falling apart. You are being upgraded. Let me describe what you have been experiencing, and I want you to notice how many of these feel true. You wake up in the morning, but it takes a moment to remember who you are. Not your name, not your life, but the felt sense of being you. There is a lag now, a pause between opening your eyes and fully arriving in your body. Time has started behaving strangely. Hours disappear without explanation. Days blur into each other. You look at the clock and cannot believe how much time has passed. Or sometimes the opposite. A single hour stretches on forever, like you are moving through thick water. Your memory feels different too. Not worse exactly, but less attached. Things that happened last week feel like they happened months ago, and some things that happened years ago suddenly feel like yesterday. The timeline of your life has become fluid in a way you cannot explain. People around you seem distant, not because they have changed, but because something in how you perceive them has shifted. You love them, you know you do, but there is a strange buffer between you and everyone else now. A veil you did not choose to put there. And here is the one that really unsettles you. Your old dreams and ambitions, the things that used to drive you, they have lost their charge. You look at goals you once chased with fire and feel almost nothing. Not disappointment, not failure, just a hollow neutrality that makes you wonder who you even are anymore. If you are nodding right now, if your chest tightened at any of those words, I need you to hear something. You are not broken. You are not depressed in the way the world defines depression. Something far more significant is happening. Your consciousness is in the process of detaching from one version of reality so it can anchor into another. And that detachment, that strange unreality you feel, is the necessary space between who you were and who you are becoming. This is not dissociation, this is transition, and the fact that it feels disorienting is actually proof that it is working. Let me explain exactly why this happens. Imagine you have lived your entire life in one room. You know every corner of this room, every crack in the wall, every shadow, every sound. This room is your reality, your identity, your sense of what is real and what is possible. But over time, through your growth, your healing, your questioning, you began to vibrate at a frequency that no longer matches this room. You did the inner work, you released old patterns, you expanded beyond the walls you once thought were permanent, and now something is happening that your conscious mind cannot fully comprehend. A door has appeared, a door you did not know existed, and through that door is another room, a bigger room, a room that matches who you have become. But here is the part no one talks about. To walk through that door, you cannot drag your old reality with you. You cannot hold on to the furniture of your past and expect to fit through the opening. The door requires you to let go, not just physically, but perceptually. That strange unreality you feel, that is your consciousness releasing its grip on the old room. The walls are becoming transparent, the floor is becoming less solid. The things that once felt permanent are revealing themselves as temporary. You are not losing your mind, you are losing your attachment to a reality that can no longer contain you. This is what it feels like to exist between worlds, and I need you to understand something important. This in-between space is not a waiting room, it is not purgatory, it is not a mistake or a malfunction. This space is sacred. It is the cocoon, the void, the fertile darkness where transformation actually happens. You cannot skip this part. You cannot rush through it. The disorientation is not the problem. The disorientation is the process. Think about what happens when you travel between time zones. There is a period where your body does not know what time it is. Your systems are recalibrating. You feel tired at strange hours, alert when you should be sleeping. Your entire rhythm is disrupted. This is similar but deeper. Your consciousness is traveling between dimensional frequencies. And just like jet lag, there is a recalibration period, a time when nothing feels quite real because you are not fully in either place. You are leaving a reality. You have not yet landed in the new one. And right now, you are suspended in the space between. If you are feeling this, do not panic. Do not try to force yourself back into the old room just because it is familiar. The door only opened because you are ready to walk through it. Stay with me, because next I am going to show you exactly what is happening in your energy field during this transition. And once you see it, you will never fear this feeling again. Everything in this universe operates on frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, your physical body, even the reality you perceive. It is all vibration. For most of your life, your frequency has been tuned to a specific bandwidth. This bandwidth determined what you could see, what you could experience, what you believed was possible. It was like a radio station, and you were locked onto that station, receiving only what that frequency could broadcast. But here is what happened. Through your growth, through your healing, through the inner work you have done, sometimes without even realizing it, you began to raise your frequency, slowly, incrementally, one realization at a time, one release at a time, one moment of awareness at a time, and then you crossed a threshold. Your frequency made a jump, not a small adjustment, a quantum leap. You shifted from one bandwidth to an entirely different one, and when that happens, everything changes. The old reality, the one calibrated to your previous frequency, can no longer fully reach you. Its signal is becoming static. The people, places, and experiences that belong to that frequency are starting to feel distant, not because they changed, because you did. This is why nothing feels real anymore. You are no longer tuned to the frequency of your old life, but you have not yet fully stabilized in the new frequency. You are between stations, and that space between stations, it sounds like static, it feels like unreality, it looks like disconnection, but it is actually recalibration. Your entire system, your nervous system, your energy body, your perception itself is being rewired to receive a higher broadcast, a clearer signal, a reality that matches who you have become. This takes time, it cannot be rushed, and the more you resist it, the longer it takes. The more you fear it, the more disorienting it feels. But here is what changes everything. When you understand what is happening, when you recognize the unreality as a frequency shift rather than a breakdown, something relaxes inside you. You stop fighting the transition. You stop trying to get back to the old room. You start cooperating with the process, and that is when things begin to stabilize. That is when the new reality starts to crystallize around you. Now I want to share the 3 unmistakable signs that confirm you are in this transition. If you recognize these in your own experience, you will know with certainty that what you are going through is not a problem to be solved. It is an initiation to be honored. The first sign is what I call the fading mirror. You look at your reflection, and something is different. Not your physical features, something deeper. The person looking back at you does not fully match who you feel yourself to be inside. There is a gap between the external image and the internal experience. You might also notice that your sense of identity feels less solid than it used to. The labels that once defined you, your job title, your relationship roles, your personality traits, they do not fit the same way anymore. When someone asks who you are, you hesitate, not because you do not know, but because the old answers no longer feel true. This is not an identity crisis, this is identity expansion. The mirror is fading because you are outgrowing the reflection. The person you were is dissolving, so the person you are becoming can emerge. If you have been feeling like a stranger to yourself, that is not a sign that something is wrong. That is a sign that something is profoundly right. The second sign is the emotional flattening. You used to have strong reactions. Things would excite you, or upset you, or fill you with passion. But lately that intensity has dimmed, not disappeared. Dimmed. The highs are not as high, the lows are not as low. Everything exists in this strange middle space. You might have judged yourself for this, called yourself numb, worried that you are becoming cold or disconnected. But that is not what is happening. What is happening is that your emotional body is being recalibrated. The old triggers are losing their power because they belong to the old frequency. The new emotional landscape has not fully formed yet because you are still in transition. Think of it like this. When you are between radio stations, you do not hear the full music of either one. You hear fragments, static pieces. That is where your emotions are right now. Between broadcasts, this flattening is not permanent. It is a pause, a reset. And when your system stabilizes in the new frequency, you will feel again, but differently, more clearly, with a depth that the old frequency could not access. The third sign is time distortion. This is perhaps the most disorienting symptom of all. Time no longer moves the way it used to. Hours collapse, days stretch. Your perception of past, present, and future has become fluid in a way that defies logic. You might find yourself forgetting what day it is, losing track of hours without any sense of where they went, feeling like important events happened much longer ago than they actually did, or feeling like recent moments are already ancient history. This happens because time is not actually fixed. Time is a function of consciousness, and when your consciousness shifts, your perception of time shifts with it. You are no longer anchored in linear time the way you used to be. Your awareness is beginning to access a more expanded sense of temporality, one that is less bound by clocks and calendars, one that operates on a different rhythm entirely. This can feel destabilizing, but it is actually a sign that your consciousness is expanding beyond the limitations of the old frequency. You are beginning to experience time the way your soul experiences it, fluid, layered, non-linear. If you have noticed any of these three signs, the fading mirror, the emotional flattening, the time distortion, you are not going crazy, you are going through, and the only way out is forward. I want to guide you through something now, a simple practice to help you stay anchored during this transition, not anchored to the old reality, anchored to yourself, to the part of you that is constant, even as everything else shifts. If it is safe to do so, let your eyes soften or gently close. Take a breath, slow, deep. Feel the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, let your awareness drop from your head into your body, out of the thoughts, into the felt sense of being here. Now I want you to find the one place in your body that still feels like you. It might be your chest, your belly, your hands, somewhere that feels solid, real, present. Place your attention there. Breathe into that space. This is your anchor point, not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your circumstances. This felt sense of presence in your body, this is what remains constant, even as realities shift. Now silently repeat these words. I am here, I am safe, I am in transition, not in danger. I trust what I am becoming. Feel those words land in your body, not as affirmation, as truth. You are not lost, you are in passage, you are not broken, you are being rebuilt. You are not alone in this. Every awakening soul passes through this exact space. Take one more breath, let it anchor you, and when you are ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this with you. Whenever the unreality feels too strong, whenever you start to doubt yourself, return to this anchor. Return to the felt sense of being here. That is your constant. That is your ground. As you move through this transition, I want to leave you with three truths to hold on to. First, you cannot rush this process, but you can resist it, and resistance only creates suffering. The more you try to force yourself back into the old reality, the more painful this becomes. The path forward is surrender, not giving up, surrendering to the process, trusting that you are being taken somewhere better than where you were. Second, the unreality will not last forever. This is a passage, not a permanent state. There will come a moment, maybe gradually, maybe suddenly, when the new reality clicks into place, when everything feels solid again, but different, better, more aligned. You will know when you have arrived. Until then, be patient with yourself. Third, you are not alone in this. Millions of souls across this planet are going through the exact same transition right now. You are part of a collective awakening, a global frequency shift. The fact that you found this message is proof that you are connected to something larger than your individual journey. What feels like isolation is actually initiation. What feels like losing yourself is actually finding yourself. What feels like nothing being real is actually everything becoming more real than it has ever been. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. And the reality waiting for you on the other side of this transition is more beautiful, more aligned, more true than anything the old frequency could have offered. Trust the unreality. It is the bridge. Trust the disorientation. It is the compass. Trust yourself. You were built for this. If this message found you at the exact moment you needed it, leave a comment with the words, "I am in transition." Let this be your declaration, your anchor, your proof that you are not alone in this. And if you know someone who has been feeling this same strange disconnection, share this with them. They need to know they are not losing their mind. They are finding their truth. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this is not the end of the conversation. There is more to understand, more to integrate, more to become. Take a breath. You are exactly where you need to be, and I will meet you in the new reality.